What's going on today, guys? It's me, your travel buddy, founder of the YouTube channel Crypto and Travel. Before we get into it, do me the favor and like this video and smash that subscribe button, and also turn on those post notifications so you can stay up to date with what's going on out here in the crypto markets, and where you can get exclusive travel deals so you can get out and see the world on a more frequent basis. Today I'm going to start with the coin market capitalization, and the total market cap today is $128 billion, and BTC dominance is holding steady at 52.2%. Let's take a look at what's going on in the top 20 cryptos. You see Bitcoin is having a huge, a pretty sizable pullback from the slight run up that we had here over the last few days. Bitcoin is down 7.59%. Ethereum coming in down at 11.42%. XRP down 8.65%. You guys catch the drift already. EOS down 14.47%. Litecoin is also down 12%. Bitcoin Cash down 12%. Tether up 40. Stellar down. Tron down. Binance Coin finally down. That's been on a tear as of lately. Cardano down. Bitcoin Satoshi's Visions is down 8%. Monero down. Pretty much everything is in the top 20 is down, except for coming in at number 20. Ontology is actually up 2.9%. I got into that a few days ago. Give him a little pat on the back. I did, and I'll be charting Ontology. That's been a highly requested chart, so I get into it. So now let's move into the charts. Let's look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on GDAX, Coinbase. That's why I buy majority of my Bitcoin, so that's why I do most of my charting for Bitcoin. So as you can see, Bitcoin has had this pretty sizable pullback after this slight little run up to about 4,100, 4,200 bucks before it started to pull back. For me personally, I became a little bit bullish on Bitcoin, short-term bullish, because my sentiment is overall bearish. I don't think we are out of this bear market yet. So with that being said, I became slightly bullish on Bitcoin when we got this cross on the 13 and 34 moving average. You see, we got the cross here with the price above the cross. So I became slightly bullish on Bitcoin. Then I didn't jump into Bitcoin because I'm digging into altcoins. I have a 100 altcoin challenge going on. Check out the merch while it's on my mind. Crypto weather merch. You can holler at Trevon James on YouTube and pick up you some crypto weather merch and dice. But yeah, I turned slightly bullish here when we got the cross on the 13 and the 34 with the price above the 13-day moving average. And like I said, I did not get in because I'm into alts right now. 100 altcoin challenge. I'm doing that throughout the course of 2019 and also into 2020. Finding different buy-in points on several different altcoins. I have a list. I'll get into that on my other video. But yeah, I turned slightly bullish on Bitcoin here. As you can see here, I drew this descending resistance line. That's what I'm calling it, because that's where the next level of resistance was. And if Bitcoin had crossed this area of resistance here and closed above it, I was gonna become even more bullish. But as you see, before we can even touch that actual resistance line, but we're in the area, we got rejected today on this huge, keep saying huge, sizable pullback, all the way down back to pretty much the 34-day moving average, and also this level of support here. In my opinion, for us to keep going up, we have to close above this 13-day moving average today. I'll be watching it to see exactly where Bitcoin closes today, but we have to close above this 13-day moving average for us to remain bullish and stay out of this cloud. You see, we got this pull back to this cloud. Luckily, we have some sort of a resistance here, and it's bouncing up. We have to stay out of this Ichimoku cloud. If we come back and get into this cloud, in my personal opinion, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, but we're gonna remain bearish for the next foreseeable future. And but yeah, we've got this pull back down to the 34, and we cannot come back down and break this level of resistance and start closing below this level of support. If we do, we will test this area of support here, and we'll be right back underneath that cloud like I spoke of just a few moments ago. And if we break below this support area of 3,500, somewhere around in that area, we will start back to test these lows in the next couple of weeks. So we have to stay above this 13-day moving average in order for us to stay bearish. And that's about it on the daily chart. Moving on to the yearly. I'm sorry, moving to the monthly. This is my overall synopsis on Bitcoin and what we're gonna do over time. This is just my sentiment. I'm like, again, this is not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. I'm just here offering my opinion. This is what I think we're going to do in Bitcoin over the next about 2 years, so to speak, running us into halfway of 2021. This is the price line that I'm thinking we're going to follow. We're going to have a bump up, I do think, in the next March, Aprilish, but I do think during midsummer, you're going to see us start to level back off and come back and stay in that area of about $35,000 to $4,000, and you won't see us coming out of that. I got two trajectories here. We can either start to come up here. This is just going back on past data and looking at understanding market psychology and looking at past data of the different cycles, the bull and bear cycles we've had in Bitcoin since about 2010. So this is just my opinion. But yeah, we got two trajectories here. And but yeah, I think this is pretty much basically what's gonna happen. We're not gonna see any type of upward coming out of this bear market until about June-ish of 2020 next year. So right now we're in an accumulation phase. That's partially the reason why I have my 100 altcoin challenge going on. But yeah, this is just my opinion, what we're gonna see here, because we have the halving coming up. I do think we're going to remain bearish and coming out of the halving. If you look at the last time Bitcoin halved and you pull that chart up, I'll say that for another video, you'll see how price reacted going into and coming out of the Bitcoin halving. So we have the halving coming up in June of 2020. So going into that, I think we're going to remain very bearish according to past chart data. And then coming out of that, I think we're going to start to become more bullish heading out of 2020 and going into 2021. So I'm not looking for this bear market to be over until about halfway of 2020 going into 2021. So you have time. A lot of people think that they have missed the boat. You have not. Now is the time to buy. Will we go lower? We probably will, but I don't think, I'm not a bottom caller, and I don't know where the bottom is actually going to be in at. Pretty much nobody really knows, but I do think we're in the area of the bottom. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and start accumulate, eating them up now. And I advise everybody to kind of sort of do the same thing. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm sorry. Actually, I shouldn't say I advise you to, but this is not financial advice. It's just my opinion and what I'm doing. I'm going to keep it at that. I'm just going to share what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead in this accumulation phase because we're going to move sideways, I think, for about a year. Granted, we're going to have some fluctuation. It's just going to rock everybody to sleep. We're going to be, it's going up, it's coming down, it's going up, it's coming down. People are going to get tired. And when people stop paying attention, that's when I think this market is going to come off, because it's going to trick you. That's pretty much the name of the game. So that's about it. That's my sentiment. So right now, if you don't take anything from this Bitcoin chart, is that we are in an accumulation phase. So do your due diligence and start researching altcoins and projects that you think are best for your portfolio, and just accumulating while they're at these low prices. Majority of these altcoins are down like 90-some%. So right now it's the perfect time to start to accumulate. And I'm moving right along. Ontology was one of the charts that was heavily requested via Twitter and Instagram. So I promised my followers that I would pull up the Ontology chart on Binance. That's why I buy most of my altcoins. And that's another thing too. If on this 100 altcoin challenge, if the coins are not listed on Binance, I'm not going to fool with them unless it's just an awesome project. And one exception to that rule is Wax. I will be purchasing Wax. It's listed on Bittrex. I just want to keep it, I hate to say this word in crypto, but I like to keep it centralized basically to one exchange, because it's just easier to work with that way rather than picking and choosing off of all these different exchanges. And Binance is a pretty trustworthy source. So I'm going to just pretty much buy all my altcoins on Binance. So with that being said, let's check out Ontology on Binance. And let's just see if we can just come up with some overall market sentiment. Now this is, let's get to day chart. All right, cool. So here you have ontology paired with BTC. You see here we got the cross again. That's when that 13 cross above that 34 with the price above it. That's a bullish signal. And then you see this Ichimoku cloud. Look exactly where it crossed through, right there in the thin area of that Ichimoku cloud. And now you don't have any other cloud in sight. Think about it like this. If you're on the sea, if you're out at sea, you don't want to see no cloudy weather ahead. And that's exactly what we have here. We got the cross above the cloud, broke through across 13 on 34, became bullish. And you see this pretty evident flag here. And that's a rule of thumb when you have flags forming on charts. Pretty much most of the time, however the price enters the flag, that's the way it's going to exit. And you see here, we entered this flag with an uptrend, and we came out and broke out of the flag in the uptrend as well. But if you are in ontology, I would start to take some profits, you know, as we are getting really extended above this 13-day moving average. Typically what happens when we're this far from the 13-day moving average, we have a pullback towards it. But as long as the price stays above the 13 and we stay out of the way of this Ichimoku cloud, I will remain bullish on ontology. But first of all, my first bullish sentiment was here when we got the cross and we closed above this resistance area. You see, we got the cross, price shot up, and we actually closed. And we closed above this resistance area here. That was my first bullish sentiment. But I didn't jump in right away immediately because I wanted to see how price acted once we closed above. And we see we did have a pullback. We had a slight pullback here, and I didn't become bullish until about here. But when we pulled back to this 13, that's when I became more bullish on it because we stayed over the 13 for 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th day. I figured we were over that for 5 days. That led me to become more bullish, and we continued to close here. We tested that resistance area here and got rejected. On the next day, I figured that we were gonna have another test, in which we did. So I got in about midway at this 1800 Satoshi mark, and ever since then I've just been riding this wave, setting stop losses. But then, of course, too, once we got above this resistance area and we started closing and we closed here, I immediately looked back into time. If you want to know the truth on the charts, you have to look back into time. That's where you're going to get all your information from. You have to look back into time. And so once we closed above this and I noticed that this was another resistance level broken, I became really bullish again. And once on this next day, I set my stop loss here. So that way, if we did have a pullback, I wouldn't take a huge loss, you know, because where I set my stop loss. But as I predicted, or as I assumed, we would continue up, in which we did. And we also broke this resistance level, and closed here again. And then here, after this day, I set my stop loss here, secured all these profits. And on this next day here, which now I have my stop loss here, which I'm so far securing these profits. And to now, what I'm interested in seeing where we close at today. If we close above this resistance level here, I'm going to remain bullish on ontology. So that's all pretty much what it is. Just support, resistance, finding out where that price battle is between the buyers and the sellers, the bulls and the bears, and just going back, looking into history. I use moving averages because they are very, very simple to follow. I'm here trying to teach simplicity. I'm not trying to confuse people, because Elliott waves, Fibonacci's, and everything can get extremely complicated, especially to new traders, to novice traders. So I just like to keep it simple with the moving averages, where we get the cross and the price is above the 13. It's a bullish signal. You know, when you have flags forming, the way that the price enters into the flag is usually the way the price exits the flag. So that's me and how I'm feeling on ontology. If we keep breaking these prior resistance levels and keep closing above them, I'm going to remain bullish, and I'm going to keep that trail and stop loss. And a stop loss means that if you set your stop loss here, right? See, I've secured all this profit so far. So when I have my stop loss set here, if the price just for whatever reason plummets down, I will get kicked out of this trade here, and all this profit will be secured. That's why I call it the stop loss. It's stopping your loss. So I have my stop loss set here, and today, like I said, we get a close above this resistance, I'll move it up to this resistance level. It's called a trailing stop loss, so you're just securing profits along the way. So that's how that worked. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling on ontology. Like, so we got the cross above, flag, broke out the way it came in. We're breaking prior resistance levels, and also importantly, we are staying high and clear from this Ichimoku cloud, which you want to do. You don't want to get caught up under it, trying to bust through the thick and the meat of the Ichimoku cloud, because there's going to be a lot of resistance in those areas. We found a perfect spot to break through where there wasn't a lot of resistance, and you see what happened. That's just simple ways to look at chart. I can get more technical, but I'm not at this moment going over indicators. So just look out for more videos. Remember, like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on your post notifications so that way you can stay in the loop on what's going on in the crypto world, and send me charts to look at so you can see where I'm getting in, where I'm getting out, and what just overall my synopsis. I'm a crypto, I won't call myself an OG yet because I've only been in for 2 years. After 4 years, I'm going to get some merch made that say like crypto OG or something like that in that time, because at that time it'll be 2021, 2022 when we're popping bottles. If you follow me, 2021, 2022, we'll be popping bottles together. We'll be rocking some crypto merch, and we'll be rolling that newfound wealth into some other assets, and we'll keep this wealth cycle going. So yeah, turn on post notifications, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, so that way you can stay up to date with what's going on in the crypto world, and also where you can get exclusive deals to travel, so that way you can travel more, you can make this money, you can do like I do, you can crypto and travel. That's what it's all about. Peace, I'm out. You guys have a good day. I'll see you all at the tippy top. Have a good one.